morning. We've got a great program today. One of our great community leaders is going to give us some incredible information. And it's something I personally know about, so I won't spill the beans for Bill. But spring finally made it here, I think.
Yeah.
Did it snow this week?
Next week.
We got Happy Dollars, we got Sergeant at Arms, we got it all. James Pegram will lead us off with the invocation pledge and Rotary Monday.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we give thanks for the pleasure of gathering together for this occasion. We give thanks for this food prepared by loving hands. We give thanks for this life, the freedom to enjoy it all and all other blessings. As we partake of this food, we pray for strength and health to carry on and try to live as you would have us to live. This we pray in the name of Christ, our Heavenly Father. Amen. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we test, are the things we think, say, and do?
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Okay, for a Rotary moment. One of my Rotary moments was in the meeting that Nita McVeigh was the speaker. And that wasn't because Rob confessed about taking a shower with his cat. But anyway, that was the highlight of the meeting. But well, the reason that was a special meeting is I brought my daughter Lindsay with me to that meeting. And because she was a fan of Nito, and I went to one of his seminars one time and ended up buying everything he was selling that day, and she started listening to it. And so she was a big fan. But at the end of the meeting, she went up front to meet him. He said something to her, something like, I can't tell you how good it makes me feel that you came to hear me speak, and which I think kind of blew her away and really had a lot, helped her confidence and stuff. So that was my Rotary. Thank you very much.
Sergeant at Arms, who we got? Dale?
Dale. As he sets his coffee down and gets his glasses on, we'll have some numbers here. Okay, we've got two visiting Rotarians. We've got Steve Mackler from Guilford. Fred Bender from Crescent. We've got two guests as well. We've got Sean Roberts, who's a guest at Chips. And Mike Fowler, who's a guest at Brian Kite. And there's a total of 46 of us here today, and the total in the Queen of Hearts Fund is now $190.
All right.
What else you need to know?
Noteworthy.
I hope
Mike
nothing,
Fowler was,
that's all I know.
were you a founding member, or you were a long time ago member of
A
this
long
club?
time ago member, yes. I recognize a few of the old guard here.
Mike Conrad.
I hear you. I hear you, Mike.
Mike Conrad will shame anybody in the service.
Yes, he will.
Let's see here. Announcements. Beth has something.
Yes. On behalf of the foundation and to shame you into service, we had 9 new members join the club this year. I think we're about 50–60% have filled out their benefactor form for Rotary International. It's an important way to remember Rotary and honor Rotary, and it's a very simple form. If you need any help or any questions, just give me a call and I'll be happy to talk you through the form or resend you the link. But we need to get that done for our gold award.
Thank you, Beth. Let's see. I don't see Ross Geller here, but just a reminder, last week he gave us the information on the blood drive, the Mercer Oast blood drive.
Tuesday.
Is it this coming Tuesday is when it is?
Tuesday lunchtime.
Okay, put that on your calendars. We'll probably send an email reminder. Mercer Oast, one of our former members, and great great member of this club. Other announcements on the floor.
I'll
Danny?
do the Kevin Barth birthdays and celebrations. Kevin,
Kevin's right behind you.
where are you?
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Kevin, you know, he said you might not be here, and he says, you know, Kevin was supposed to send me that list, and you didn't do it. And I was thinking, that's not like Kevin.
Okay, well, let's see, let me bring up,
Something else,
the
make something
issue
up.
with, Camp Carefree coming up in May. I gotta iron it out with the lady there, and probably she mentioned a big need in wood cutting, so we may be switching gears due to the ice storm and everything. Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, I was going to say, it's a great segue into the birthdays and anniversaries. We only have one this week. It is for Walt Howell. He is 18 years as of April 1st, a Rotarian. That's the only anniversary or holiday we have. I was going to say, it seems appropriate that it's on April 1st is the anniversary.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Buster, how about a big round of pin-up demands?
Mike Feller, it's so good to see you here. This is so great. Mike was, I had to give a happy dollar for purchasing our building, and Mike was facilitated that and worked with the recalcitrant bank that we purchased it from and got that done. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, Buster. Danny.
Well, this happy dollar is for getting to go to one of 3 ACC schools that my son got into. We're going to Clemson today. I don't know anything about Clemson other than I went to Golden State, Wisconsin in 1989.
Do you actually remember that?
It's a beautiful shade of orange. You'll get used to it. My happy dollar is to thank you for all of the support this club gave me for my run Saturday for Step Up Greensboro. If any of you are not familiar with Step Up Greensboro, it is a fantastic organization, and hopefully we'll have someone come and talk to us about it during the course of the year. But it is a readiness program that takes people off the street that are ready to commit their lives to go into a different direction. Job readiness, addiction counseling, spiritual counseling, money management. And as a group that ran for Step Up, we raised about $10,000, which will put about 50 people through the program, through a 36-week program. And so far in 3 years, we've taken 200 people or so off the streets and into productive lives. So great.
I got to go to Telluride, Colorado last week and ski with my nephew who had double lung transplant. Ski circus around there. So thank you everyone that signed up. I've learned 3 things about Colorado. Since January 1, there is no speeding anymore. This steamship is now the Dorito. And Disney is no longer the happiest place on earth.
You must have gone to the chip person driving school.
You heard what they said about it in California, that that all of a sudden that the thing in the Bible that says, if 2 men shall lie down together, they shall be stoned. Yeah. They're from Washington or Colorado.
Buster, I got one. A little late on this one. My daughter is turning me into a grandfather again this August. I just found that out a couple of weeks ago, and that's a big happy dollar.
As Grandpappy always said, those who do not learn from cliches are destined to repeat them. All these things y'all laugh about later. Really good.
All right. Emily, turn it over to
All
you.
right, well, I mean, really, our speaker this morning needs a little introduction. We all know him well as a community leader, and we've spoken to our club before, but we do have Bill Knight with us this morning. He is not a native of Greensboro, but of the Triad, but he attended high school and college here in Greensboro. He's a retired CPA, a veteran of the U.S. Coast Guard. We certainly all know him as former mayor of Greensboro. He's married and has a daughter and 2 granddaughters. He's a member of Christ United Methodist Church. And relevant to his purpose here this morning, he's a board member of the War Memorial Foundation.
I'm also very technically proficient. We hope this thing's gonna work.
You came to speak at the right place then.
It'll come up here in just a minute. I got here bright and early this morning to make sure, hopefully everything's gonna work. Thank y'all for having me here again. I spoke to you, I think downstairs, that's where I went this morning when I showed up. I went downstairs, but I found the occupied, so I'm in pretty good shape. I'm on the board, as Emily said, I'm on the board of the War Memorial Foundation. It's a 501c3, and I just want to talk to you. Do any of you know, have you heard of the Carolina Field of Honor? I hope you have. I mean, we have done everything for about 2 years. But I've got about a 4-minute video here, if I can make this work, and it will show not the site, but it will tell why. It'll tell a little bit about why it's being done. And Shazam. It will come up here in a moment. It's supposed to. I've got a technology expert here, Beth. Beth, would you like to? Okay, let's see. that just briefly says a little bit about what the Carolina Field of Honor is. I'm gonna stand up here. If you can't hear me, just hold your hand up or something. I'll try to speak up. The Carolina Field of Honor is, to locate it, it is out, if you go out West Market Street, beyond the airport, you go through Colfax, it's about 11 miles from downtown. If you've been to Triad Park, any of you? You ought to go. It's a 425-acre park. It's been there for probably 15 years, jointly owned by Forsyth and Guilford counties. Most of the park sits in Guilford County. A little bit of it's in Forsyth. The park is operated by the Forsyth Parks Department. Security is through the Guilford County Sheriff's Department through the arrangement, but this Triad Field of Honor encompasses about 8 acres of a 425-acre park. I mean, you've got to see it. It is something else to see. Not just this, but I'm talking about the entire park. And it's located, if you go out West Market, or you can go out 40 to Sandy Ridge Road and go up and take a left on West Market and go 2 miles. Triad Park is directly across from the entrance to FedEx Ground, the new facility. And the park, the memorial that is up, it is well under construction right now, I'm happy to say. In 25 months, we have a board, a volunteer board. No professional fundraisers. There have been 17 board members. We're all veterans, and we've just gone out by hook and crook, just pounding doors and pounding the pavement. And in about 25 months, have raised enough money. It's about almost $2.5 million to. Through donations to have this done. Now the amphitheater is being used. Some state money was obtained, believe it or not, to help on that. Forsyth is going to be responsible for the amphitheater, and because of weather and other delays, they haven't gotten started. They're going to start just any day now. But the memorial, this part, the military memorial, is well under construction. The obelisk in the center, it's intended to remind you of Washington, D.C. I mean, that was intentional. The obelisk is about 6 stories tall. It's North Carolina granite out of Mount Airy, and we've been out there every day watching them put it up. And it's 110 tons of granite just in the memorial. They built a foundation that they said will hold the World Trade Center. And so they put about 700,000 pounds of concrete in the ground out there to build a foundation with rebar. But you've got monuments to each of the branches of service. Each monument will be polished granite, about 10 feet tall, 6 feet wide, just again, granite. And that's going to be, all of this is going to be part of the dedication. We've got a drive, we've got flags representing all of the periods of American history, starting with Don't Tread on Me and coming across. And there will be a 2-tiered pool in it. You can see the white, there will be paver bricks, and you see this in the brochure. This has been one of the important parts for families and individuals, is to recognize family members. And back at Christmas, we found a lot of children and grandchildren were recognizing dad and granddad with a paver brick. And we've sold, I'm guessing, close to $300,000 worth of just paver bricks. But we've had great help from, if you watch Channel 12, Channel 8 in particular, they've been very, very helpful in promoting this. So where we are right now, we will have a dedication on May 31, Saturday, May 31. That is the Saturday after Memorial Day. Memorial Day is on a Monday. So the following Saturday, we will have a dedication, and we've been planning for months now, and we have no way of knowing how many people will come, because it's certainly just come as you will, but we are planning for 5,000 people and upwards for the dedication. It'll be a Saturday evening. It'll be publicized quite a bit. The governor will be our guest speaker. There'll be no speeches. He will make remarks. It will be a military sermon. And anyway, we will have a retired officer from each of the 5 branches of service to lay a wreath. It'll be very patterned, very similar. If you've ever seen the ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, it'd be, hopefully, we would hope it would somewhat be like that. And we will have the Piedmont Wind Symphony will present music, patriotic music, after the wreath laying ceremony. And so we're just hoping a lot of people will come. May can be hot, you know, we'll have bottled water, because we expect a lot of older people there, especially veterans. We will have seating for handicapped and for older veterans. I mean, we know a lot of people. There's right now under construction. There's a chain link fence, and just to watch those old veterans. Yeah, I've been doing this for 2.5 years, and I still haven't worked out. But anyway, I've got to tell you, it's going to be something special, and it's going to be big. I mean, it's going to be North Carolina has estimated it will become a major attraction in the state. It's if you look over here on this side, you've got the airport, you've got I-73. I think I've got it right. You'll have I-74 over here. You've got Business 40. The new interchange that's being built at what's called Macy Grove. It's the exit into FedEx Ground that was part of the deal they got with the Department of Transportation. That'll also benefit us. The park right now is drawing about 200,000 people, and we estimate, not we, but they estimate that the attendance could go up to $400,000 or $500,000. $400, not dollars, but people. But the park itself, again, has got attractions. It's got walking trails, it's got climbing walls, it's got tennis, I mean, there's some sports fields. It is a real popular place already, and so this is something that Greensboro is really going to be proud of, and the Triad. This has been a Triad effort. We've had donors from $2 up to almost $200,000 on this, and it's just there are about 150,000 veterans in the retired veterans in the or veterans living in the Triad area, Greater Triad area. The new VA facility that's being built in Kernersville will be, I think, as the crow flies, about 2 miles away. And I guess it's going to be pretty big because it's supposed to have 500 employees, so it's got to be a pretty big establishment. So we think hopefully it's going to be a nice stop. We've talked to the Department of Transportation. We'd like to see some of the brown signage out on the highways. We just think it'll be a great attraction and something we can all be proud of. And like I say, May 31, 7 o'clock p.m., although it'll open, the park's open all day, but we're asking people to come early. Parking, we will have shuttles. It's sort of like running, I used to be to JC's, it's sort of like running a golf tournament. You got shuttles, you got portalets, you got all those things up and down the road, and that we've got to deal with, and security, of course, with the governor being there. But it's going to be a big event. We do not have control of the weather, but it will go on, and so we will have thousands of bottles of water, because I was at the dedication in 2004 in Washington, and there were about 800,000 people there for that one, and they had enough water to float a ship in. So we've learned from that. We'll have water, and we don't know that it will be lit. And we just found out yesterday the lighting is timed. You know, we were hoping we could somebody could flip a switch after the ceremony, but we're going to have a dress rehearsal the day before. We want to see what time the sun goes down and when it starts getting dark. But it will all be lit, and like I say, this is handicap access, this drive. A Chevrolet dealership, Park Chevrolet, has donated this drive here. And then you'll have the walk with, we expect a lot of families to come and to want to see their engraved bricks. We've had to deal with a lot of families wanting to know if they could attend the bricklaying for their loved one. You just can't do that. I mean, it's just, it's not possible. But the construction is on, and we will continue beyond May 31 with we've got a couple of other things. We want to have a parade deck in the back here. It's, I kiddingly said, just get a lawnmower and you got it, but there's a little bit more to it. An area to have formations of, it could be military, Boy Scouts, law enforcement, any kind of celebrations back in here. And we want to have some, what we call meandering trails, that we'd like to have some educational kiosks. Now, one thing we've talked about all along is the importance to young kids, to children, school groups to come out to see it. Don't forget our history. So anyway, that's kind of the long and short of it, and I'm doing pretty good on time here. So y'all don't like me, because I'm going to let you out of here early. Yeah.
Bill, quick question. Could you point out on your photograph up there where West Market Street is and where parking is in relation to?
Okay, down here, if you go out West Market Street, 421 West Market Street, going if you go out, by the way, if you go beyond the airport, it took down to where 68 crosses over. Going beyond that is being 4-lane all the way. So you've got a 4-lane drive. There's some of it's still under construction, but it's pretty good. But you go on, you go through Colfax and go beyond the fire department, and then when you come to the stoplight, that's the entrance to Tri-Edge Park on the right. When you turn into the park, it's a big park. So from the front, it's 9/10 of a mile back to the Carolina Field of Honor. It's a kind of an elevated affair. It's very, very, very scenic. And the parking, there is parking here. A lot of that's going to be taken for handicapped and for special VIPs. There are grass parking lots. Parking will be directed out there. We've hired a professional parking, or they're parking pros, I think they call them. They will handle the ins and outs. They know this business inside and out, and so they will handle the parking. We will have shuttles to the different lots. Each parking lot within the Tri-Ed Park will be a colored lot. We will have 8 or 10 shuttles running a color for different lots. We've got a church. There's a big mega church a mile down the road going into Kernersville, right down at the roundabout, called the Bridge, and they're going to let us use that parking. So for off-site parking, we'll have shuttles running back and forth. The ceremony starts at 7 p.m. We're saying we open up at 4 p.m. because knowing a bunch of old vets, some of them are going to be there at sunrise. But we know a lot of families will want to go and walk around and see it, but at about 5:45, it will be roped off so we can get ready for the ceremony. There's going to be a big stage over here. There's a 40-piece symphony going to be played. I think it's 40 or 50, I'm not sure. Be my mid-symphony. And then just before 7 o'clock, there will be a military, a bugle call. It'll be just to get everybody's attention to the ceremony's about to begin. It'll be the only speech made, other than we will have Brad Jones from Channel 8 and Cameron Kent from Channel 12 will co-share the MC, their duties. And they will, other than their comments and recognition of some special guests, the governor will speak with probably no more than 10 minutes. That'll be the only speech during the whole ceremony. I mean, this is not a speech-making event. It's a recognition. And and once that's done, early on, somebody had a bright idea, we ought to have fireworks at the end. No. Because, number one, it'll be getting dark, and you have fireworks, and we found that if word gets out you're going to have fireworks, you start attracting a lot of people who want to come with the families. They just want to see fireworks, and all of a sudden we have got a major mess. So no fireworks, and the exit is planned. The Patriot Guard, the guys on the motorcycles, there'll be about 50 of them, but they will be parking back up at one of the special lots. It's all worked out, so they're not going to come in. I mean, that's not, but these people are really special. They're very dedicated, and they will have a part in the ceremony. But we've got a number of special guests. one of the real honors I've had and privileges, not honor, but privilege, is to meet some really, really special people. Recently, I was over at High Point Rotary and had, the speaker was Porter Halliburton. Any of you know Porter?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know him, and you know, it's just, he'll stop, he just stops everything when he talks. But people like that, I met a Medal of Honor winner from Goldsboro, and just a lot of people who serve. We have on our board, I guess, the oldest member, I guess, is a retired Brigadier General from the Marine Corps here in Greensboro, Fred Sisley. He's 38 years. Any of you know Lloyd Wilkerson? Greensboro resident, lives over at, what's the place, used to be Eastern Star, what do you call it, Whitestone, or over on Holden Road, where Wendover goes over and those homes. He's 93, and he spent 38 years in the Marine Corps. Started out as a private, retired as a Major General, and he served all the way back to Guadalcanal. And any of you know your military history, that's 1942. And he's still living. So it's a thrill to meet these folks and to do what they've done. So hopefully this will honor them and give families a chance to remember. Yes.
Bill, a quick comment and a short question, hopefully. If any of you guys haven't been out there to Triad Park, it is truly a hidden gem in Guilford, and it really serves Guilford and the west or the eastern part of Forsyth County. Beautiful park. I mean, they have rock climbing out there. I mean, they have all the fields that Bill described. They've got a ropes confidence course out there. I mean, just all sorts of things. I've lived out in Colfax since 2006, and I'm run out there all the time, and I've really seen this thing take shape. And I just wanted to say you guys have done an amazing job. I mean, it's something that doesn't look like it fits in a county park. I mean, it looks like something you would expect to see in Washington or somewhere where there's a lot of monuments. So kudos to you guys. It's been truly amazing to see. One quick question: the amphitheater. What are y'all's plans for the use of that? I mean, do you have bookings already, or?
No, well, that one, the way it worked out, because some state money came in to help. There are wetlands back through here, and when I met with somebody from DENR, the Department of Natural and Environmental Resources. They said, well, we don't make grants to specific events. They make it to parks, if that's part of their grant. So basically, the Parks Director from Forsyth County was in Raleigh when I and Bill Moss, our founder, went down and made a pitch and didn't get anywhere. But then they came back and they said, yeah, we will. So it will be built. Forsyth County is in charge of it, and it's something that over in Forsyth they had apparently thought about some years ago, and then for some political reasons it never got off the ground. But it will be used, presumably could be used for anything like symphonies or concerts. There will be seating on the hill here. This is sloping down. They probably seat 3,000 people there. So I mean, it's a place to. I don't know I don't even know they've gotten to the point of reservation policies, but I'm sure it would happen.
What's the timing on that part being completed?
Well, they should have already been started. Whether they will be finished by supposedly later this year. They've already got the bids in and they're ready to go. But we were worried because we wanted to use some of there's a circle drive down there now. We wanted to use. They said no, we can't because we'll be under construction by May. And so we were concerned there'd be a bunch of dirt and mud and everything on the road over here. All this landscaping, of course, is not here yet. Some of it will be. Weather has played Dickens. We started out last fall. We broke ground on September 20th, and we were ahead of schedule. And then the rains and the ice, and the rain and the ice, and the rain and the ice, it just came, and it's been problematic. And that mud out there, I got some on some shoes, and it never comes off. So we were talking about if they're talking about hydro seeding around here now just to get a quick growth because they're trying to get it graded off. And if that or siding, although siding, I understand, is quite a bit more expensive. But the landscaping, some of it will be in place, and most of the landscaping was donated to us, as were a number of other things. So, but these trees here won't be, and of course these over here, they'll have to grow in. But it's quite a thing, quite a thing.
Is the remembrance brick still available?
Yeah, see the brochure I gave you there?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
But they won't be placed by May 31.
Right.
They will be placed.
Okay.
And the foundation, this is a 501c3, and we're already starting to think about the continuation of the foundation. See, our purpose was just to raise the money and build this and go away. But it's apparent now that the bricks, I mean, we're getting brick orders in, or pavers, and I've been trained to call, and they'll be granite and not red brick. And getting up to 100 orders a day and coming in. So that will continue, and I guess our board and our foundation would arrange with the counties that once you get 50 or 100 new ones in, we go over and have a placement day, pull up the old ones and put the plain ones and put new ones in. But the memorial, they will be placed according to branch of service. You know, I think it's Army, you know, it goes around Army, Marines, Air Force, there's Navy, I think, is right behind there, and then of course Coast Guard. And then POWMIA is something. And also we've had some interest in Canine Corps. Canine and Merchant Marine. I put a matter of fact, I did one yesterday for a late uncle who's a Merchant Marine. So I don't know where that'll go. I would think Coast Guard probably many places did. And we'll need some bricks on papers over the Coast Guard. My friend Howard Coble, I'm also Howard's treasurer. I have been for a long time friend, but he's a retired captain in the Coast Guard. And he will do the placement of the wreath at the, if he's able, he'll do the placement of the wreath for the Coast Guard Memorial. Others. Well, thank you, and look, and please, if you can, come out on May 31, but you know, you might just watch it, you probably want to arrive a little early, but in the meantime, we invite you to go out and just see it. If you haven't seen the park, go see the park, and drive back and see the memorial. It's an easy drive from right here, it's about 11 miles right here. You can go right out Brown Boulevard and loop around, and as soon as you drop down, get to 68, just take a right, and follow it right on out there. It's an easy drive, and it's going to be something special. Greensboro will be real proud. And hopefully the convention and visitors bureaus throughout the triad can put this on their brochures as another important place to go and take a sit. I'm done.
Fellow Rotarian from Crescent, Howard Clark, some of you may know. And he's a longtime friend of my father's, who's 90 years old, was a World War II veteran. And Howard and Bill and I met a few months ago, and Howard, actually, the whole gang of guys went to Guilford College when my dad did. 1942, he was a freshman at Guilford, and in March, he had to go. They didn't even let him finish his freshman year, and there was about a dozen, maybe 20 of those guys, and they all ended up coming back to Guilford after the war and finishing. Howard has put together, we've all bought a brick, all the families, and my dad doesn't know about it yet, but all their bricks are going to be together. And Howard arranged that. It's a whole gang, but it's incredible. I mean, it'll be a permanent.
He said, well, I've known Bobby longer than just a few months. Actually, over the years, he used to be a golfer. And he was dead. I lost a lot of money to him these days.
More of it to my dad.
And when he took up running, I couldn't run quite fast as he did.
Running didn't require any talent, golf did. But thank you for the great work you've done. We're going to donate a book to Cone Elementary, and I'll describe it with your name and date for speaking to us today. And we look forward to
Thank you.
And let's see, we have a raffle bin
Well, maybe
here
not.
somewhere.
We're working on it.
Just a wish. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
In that moment, while we're trying to find the cars, Jim Kennedy suggested a 5:05 tonight at 7 o'clock at the ballpark, section 101, or maybe at the grandstand. I understand from Chris we might need a little help on attendance, so great way to get a makeup tonight at the ballpark.
Chip, you are the man.
Yeah, well, I just thought about it.
Every day of the week, don't you?
Well, I resemble that remark.
It is Thirsty Thursday too, right?
Yeah.
We'll do the Queen of Hearts next week.
We are, we're going, oh, we'll have a Queen of Hearts. Okay. All right. Have a great day, don't forget the cards, like,